Bryce Hall just made the greatest comeback in influencer boxing, but it may not be for the reason you're thinking.
He's done it from time to time. Just have a bit of...
From the United Kingdom, the Nightmare.
Alright, so Bryce Hall recently won his bare-knuckle boxing debut. He won this fight by TKO due to an injury at the end of the second round. A little bit of controversy in this victory for Hall, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. I'll be honest in saying I didn't think Bryce Hall stood much of a chance at all in this fight. And I was honestly shocked when he went in there and dropped him in the first 10 seconds of the fight. Regardless of how that fight would have went without the injury, I was still impressed with Bryce Hall. And at the end of the day, he got the job done. And there's two reasons why I think this is such a big comeback for Bryce. The first one is just obvious, coming back from a loss in his first fight against Austin McBroom a few years back. He went from losing to Austin McBroom in a regular influencer boxing match to winning a bare-knuckle boxing match against a 3-0 pro. That in itself is just a huge dub, and I think the community is giving him his respect. Which leads me to my second point of this comeback, which is how the community is viewing Bryce Hall after this win. This man was one of the most disliked, hated people in the community. People just constantly flaming him online. We've all seen the meme a million times. I'm not a boxer. I never claimed to be a boxer. How people now view Bryce Hall, especially in influencer boxing, has completely switched after this fight. He went from that guy people look at as kind of an annoying, douchey type YouTuber to a respected fighter who people want to see in big fights now. I see so many people advocating for this Bryce Hall versus Deji fight. And yes, the talks were there before, but after this, it seems like that's what everybody wants. They want to see him go against other big names. And I think the recently found respect all started when he just took this fight. The very first influencer to step into bare-knuckle, which is just a whole nother level. I was shocked when I heard he was taking this fight. It takes a lot to just step into a regular boxing match, especially for an influencer. To step in bare-knuckle against a professional is another level of insane. So just thinking back to where this all started for Bryce Hall to where he has ended up now, I'd say that comeback is one of the greatest we've seen in this entire space. Because we are now also seeing a more likable version of Bryce Hall. After that Austin McBroom fight, it was clear that Bryce got an ego check. I do think we are seeing a more humble version of Bryce Hall. He still has that confidence about him, but it doesn't feel like he's putting on an act like he used to back in his first fight. I feel like back then he didn't even believe in the things he was saying. He was just trying to build the fight in any way he could, and it came off as more of a character. Now when he's saying he wants the big fights, he's saying he wants Deji, he's saying he wants KSI, I believe him. We even saw in his post-fight press conference that he said without the injury, this fight was not going in his direction. And I can respect him admitting that. And he also gave a very solid post-fight speech where he addressed the meme, said he is a fighter and that he's always claimed to be a fighter. That was pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie.
I think I just have to finalize this speech by saying, I am a boxer, I am a fighter, I've always claimed to be a fucking fighter.
After all the torment he's received over the years, he deserved that one. But overall, after this performance, I see some big things happening in Bryce Hall's future. Some big fights for sure. What's next for him? I do think the Deji fight makes sense. I did hear though that his manager said the prime card fight is just too soon for Bryce to fight Deji. That is definitely a fight they want, and it's one the fans all want to see. Even Deji wants it. But I don't think that one's going to be happening. Just too close to the bare-knuckle match. But down the line, I do think that's the fight to make. I don't think Bryce needs to rush back into things after this one. What I think should happen is put Deji versus Alex Wasabi 2 on the prime card. And if Deji is to win that fight, put Bryce up next for Deji. both fighters coming off a victory. That fight would be built up. The hype would be even more. That's what I want to see next for Bryce Hall. What do you guys think? Is this the greatest comeback in influencer boxing history? Let me know. Subscribe for more boxing updates and content. The support is much appreciated. Thank you for watching. Peace.